Good evening and welcome to OmniBros Live, the horror show. Ooh. Okay. I am Omnidog as usual, joined by the Omnibus collector himself, Ryley Mo. How's it going, buddy?
Too blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed. Right on, man. And tonight is the horror show because we're in October and we like to be scared, and this is the month to be scared. And we have ideas on books that will scare you, and maybe movie recommendations, things like that, or whatever. We're just going to try and scare you with our scary talent and scary recommendations. And first, we'll tell you about the fantastic sponsor of ours, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected horror editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. At the end of every month, they're kind enough to give us a $50 gift card to give away to one of you lucky viewers. And $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the United States. Trust me, that comes in handy when you order a book like this. Ugh, what am I doing owning this thing? Oh my God.
Is that a horror because it's so big or so boring or something?
No, it is big, but I have the most awesome thing to read it on. It's a soft laptop holder where I put my laptop, but it sits in my lap. The laptop goes on it, and it's soft but strong. And the Omnis and all other hardcover books go right on it and fit just perfectly. And I don't have any problems with any of these books anymore because of that laptop holder, for lack of a better word. But I'm not done yet with my IST promo, because there's also fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Yeah, that laptop holder is remarkable. It's so great.
You know what I learned, I guess a few weeks ago when ordering during the Absolute Horror, which was one of the 2 Omnipocalypse weeks that we got in September, was that if you order enough, and when I say enough, I mean you have to spend a pretty good amount, you'll even get the upgraded shipping for free.
Right.
So that's pretty cool because there's
Good point.
I forget which one of the USPS, or not USPS, one of the UPSs. If you get that one, then you have the option to like have it delivered to a UPS store. So that's really nice if you're going to be out of town, or you maybe want to not be so obvious that you have a giant box showing up at your door or something like that. You know,
That's why I would do it.
I figured that's why I said it.
I've been known to go to the UPS hub 30 miles away and intercept my box there.
Wow. But yeah, I learned that. That was pretty cool. But luckily, it looks like the horror will not continue as much into October. I think this month has a lot less of the big collected editions. So thank you for that. So we got some comics today to talk about, I guess.
Sure. I'm asking my wife where she got that laptop holder. Someone is asking in the chat where I got it. And I got it for Christmas a couple of years ago. And if I can get my wife to respond, I will tell people in the chat where I can get it, because not only is it good for the laptop, it's perfect for books.
Now, I know while Jess is a big, I'm speaking about you as if you're not here, while Jess is a big horror movie fan and stuff like that, he's discussed with us today that he's not the biggest Halloween guy. He's going to go hole himself up in his basement, turn off all the lights, and hide from any potential trick-or-treaters. I know that this year in 2020 is going to be really different for Halloween and trick-or-treating and stuff, but my wife and I love Halloween, and last year was our first real one where we actually had trick-or-treaters come to our house, because in our old house, we lived in a cul-de-sac in a neighborhood that was literally all just like old retired people. And we were the youngest people on that cul-de-sac. So we had 0 trick-or-treaters. I wound up taking all the candy for myself and for my coworkers the next morning. But out here, we got a ton of them last year. And so we know the way that our neighborhood is, that the kids are going to want to go trick-or-treating anyway. So we want to kind of embrace that and do something while staying safe. And today my wife was on the phone with her sister and one of her cousins and was like, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do yet. I want to do something creative so we can stay safe, maybe incorporate the masks and stuff. And she's like, Riley's had some ideas. And my idea, my first one, which I thought was great, was that I would be Mr. Fantastic and she would be Elastigirl, and that we would have stretched out arms that would be holding out the bowls of candy. So we just need something to support the stretched out arms so that kids who are walking down the sidewalk can stay 6+ feet away from us. So that was my first idea. But she was like, well, that sounds like it would suck because we'd be stuck standing in front of the garage for like 2 or 3 hours just holding these bowls with our long cardboard stretchy arms. And I was like, yeah, as creative as it was, you have a point. So then today I was like, Mortal Kombat, because she was like, I want to utilize the masks. And I was like, we should be Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So we are going to be DIYing some Mortal Kombat costumes, complete with color-coded masks and everything. And I told her about, actually it was Gio that came up with the, he said, instead of get over here, you can say, stay over there to the kids. I told her that I wanted to rig a zip line that we can put the candy, because we're going to do little baggies, and have the candy go down the zip line. And then she can pretend that that is her chain. So she's like shooting the chain out like she's Scorpion, and then give the kids the candy. So anyway, just thought I'd talk about that. But I did get a book in today. I showed just a second ago. I don't know if anyone's read this one. I've never read it, but it is a horror book, and I'm excited to have it because I only read the first couple issues when it was being published. And that's George Romero's Empire of the Dead from Marvel. It's got some awesome artwork from Alex Maleev, as well as a couple of other artists whose names I'm not as well at pronouncing. But this is a continuation of Romero's Dead saga of movies and stuff. So I'm excited to check this out, even if it's not great. It has some great artists in there. So that's my opening salvo for this video.
Nice. My wife was nice enough to bring down the laptop holder. It looks like
you can put your snacks in there.
So I'll show you my lap, since I know everybody is interested. This is how it fits. And so the laptop goes right here, and the Herkin Omnibus goes right here. Doesn't bother my legs, doesn't bother anything. I'm just reading away. Life is good at page 720, which DC did number this 5 years later and gave it a table of contents. I said that must have got by the Department of Disorganization, because they did a good job on this one. So this is how it works, the gray thing. And my wife was nice enough to post or give me the address in a message. So if you're interested in that, it is on Amazon, and I don't think it's expensive. Let me copy this down. Oh, okay. Okay.
Amazon's gonna run out of this.
Yeah, there's only 10 left.
Ah, shit.
There's only 10 left. Okay, so here I'm posting it in the group. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there it is. That is the laptop Omnibus reader. And I'm not kidding. It's made a huge difference in my life. I am not making any money from this. I'm doing this to tell you because I love you, fans, and this really is awesome. So, and tell me if that link does or does not work.
You said
Okay,
you put
Omar,
it on. Did you put it on Facebook?
I did not. You want me to put it
Oh
in?
no. I thought that's what you were saying. I don't. Whatever you want to do.
No, I'll put it in the chat for you. Just
Like I can't order it. I don't have any money.
Oh, okay. So let's see. First, Mr. Awesome's not in the chat that I see, but I got my correct Justice League Dark. It only took a minute for Amazon to send it to me, and I already got my return money back. This was Monday when I showed it off, and it turned out I had ordered Region 4 or something.
Oh.
I mean, it just shows up on Amazon, and I thought, okay, I that's the one I need. And fortunately, I showed it off, and Mr. Awesome was good enough to tell me that this was the wrong one. The other one was the wrong one, and Amazon sent me this one in exchange. So that's a bit of good news. And I will open up with Manor Black. Roman Black is the, I'll read from the back because that's what I'm good at. Let me get some. Oh, Mr. Awesome's there. Yeah, thanks, dude. So Manor Black is book 1 from Dark Horse by Cullen Bunn and Brian Hurt. So it has art that looks similar to their masterpiece, Harrow County. Roman Black is the moribund patriarch of a family of powerful sorcerers. As his wicked and corrupt children fight over who will take the reins of Manor Black and become the representative of the black arts, Roman adopts a young mage, and to whom he gifts his powers with the hope that someone good will take his place against the evil forces out to bring down his family and legacy. And if you're a fan of Harrow County, it's got the same writer and the same artist and the same visual effects. So I am a fan of Harrow County. So I thought Manor Black was really a good read. And of course, the children are all bummed out that he's brought in an outsider to gift his powers to, but his children are all a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. And he's like, forget you guys. I want somebody who is going to carry on everything. And it is definitely just volume 1. This is a continuing series.
Oh, it is a continuing. So was this published after, I guess, they finished up Harrow County?
Yeah, I would say this was earlier in the year of this year. February 2020. Yeah.
That's cool. I think I completely missed that one then. I know they did like
singles or anything?
Huh?
You didn't read it in singles or anything?
No, I missed that one coming out. I know they did a follow-up like mini-series after they were done with Harrow County, and I read that, but
oh, Tales from Harrow County, right.
Yeah, but I didn't know they had another series. I have a small paperback one as well that I can show. And this, I know I've talked about this on the show before. One of my favorite things around Halloween is not just watching horror movies, but I love watching like the funny horror movies, and the ones that are just ridiculous, so ridiculous they make you laugh, or the ones that are purposefully funny. So some of my favorite ones are like the Evil Dead movies and like Cabin in the Woods as well, stuff like that. Just clever, fun, funny. Scream is another really good one that's, you know, some of these are actually terrifying in parts, but at the same time, fun to read. But anyway, I say that because my first pick is actually one that if you want something like that, that's easy and fun and in parts dumb, but also in parts heartfelt, then I have something that I can recommend, and that's Kyle Starks' Mars Attack.
Oh, I have that, but I haven't read it yet.
It's a quick read. Now I'm going to be recommending directly to Jess. It's just like a 5-issue miniseries that Kyle Starks did with Chris Schweizer on the art, but Schweizer's art is really close to Starks' style. So if you're familiar from Kyle Starks from stuff like Rock Candy Mountain or Sex Castle or Kill Them All, then you'll probably, this is going to look somewhat familiar to you. But yeah, it's really cartoony, and it's about what you'd expect from Mars Attacks. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it is about basically some everyday people, kind of like a militia and stuff that form that are trying to protect people from the aliens that are attacking. And it winds up also being a really nice, heartfelt story between, oh my God, it's the Uncanny Omar.
Yeah, guys, I don't have much time, but forget everything these two have told you. I didn't come here to steal the show, but I just came to remind everybody to buy this wonderful book,
Oh
Beautiful
my
Darkness,
God.
that is the greatest Halloween story you'll ever read, despite of what some other YouTubers tell you. I don't drown my books in root beer. You can find me in near mint condition. My name is Omar, and I approve of this book right here. Wonderful book.
After today, we've decided to fire Omar from the channel.
Oh, is that what we did? Okay.
We've decided to part ways with Omar. We're tired of him trying to schlep off all of his Street Fighter booby books to us.
Is that? Oh God, I love that book. Oh, that book is amazing.
Didn't you just put out one for the swimsuit thing?
I did. Yeah. Sorry, man. I cut you off. I was just gonna tell my wife. I'm like, oh, they're doing a Halloween episode. I really need to go down there and bust Jess's balls.
If you need some of the variants for some of those Street Fighter booby books, I'm going to be doing some of those udon reviews, and they gave me some codes for a little bit of money off of orders. So,
oh, nice, man.
You can look out for that.
Nice. I wish I had that Devin Grayson book so I could have held that up too, but I'm smart enough not to buy a Devin Grayson book.
I've got a couple of her Nightwing books.
Sadly I do too.
I figured as much.
Yeah, I'm a completist, so of course I have it, and I think they just solicited anyone. Anyway, you were talking about Mars Attacks, yeah, by Kyle Starks, right? Starks.
Yeah, Kyle Starks. I was telling because Jess hasn't read it, so I'm recommending it not only to our viewers but also to Jess. And look at that, some insectoid kaiju action in the middle of this book. That's just cool. That's really cool. But yeah, I love this. Like I said, I like funny, easy books to read and easy. The same thing with my Halloween picks for movies and stuff. And I think this matches that tone. So if you're not all feeling like doom and gloom and watching the things that are gonna, make you crap yourself and not go to sleep at night, then this is gonna be a really good alternative for you. So Jess, you got to read it now.
Yeah,
you read it. You already did the hard part. You already bought it.
I know. I know exactly where it is too. I will definitely read it.
Did you read his other stuff?
Sex
Castle.
I haven't read Sex Castle. I've read Kill Them All, and I've read Rock Candy Mountain. Rock Candy Mountain was actually the first thing I read from him.
That was fun. Mm-hmm.
And I was just blown away with how fun of a book that was. It has nothing to do with anything horror or Halloween related as far as I recall. But it's still a big recommendation from me. I know it's probably never going to happen, but I wish they'd do it in an all-in-one collection because it's such a good series.
Didn't he also do the Dead of Night? Not Dead of Night. It's based on the board game, The Dog Story.
Yeah. This is the Kyle Stark you're talking about?
Yeah, it's like a zombie book. Or I'm sorry, it's a zombie board game.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dead of Winter. That's what it's called.
Okay, yeah.
And it's The Dog Story. I think he did that. I haven't read it yet, but I heard it was good. It's a sweet shirt, Jess.
Thank you.
I like that, man. That's awesome.
Graffiti Designs has really good, affordable Boss shirts.
Cool.
I really like that.
Boss. I like that word.
Mine's got Leonardo on it.
That is cool.
Mine's got a beer on it.
Oh.
Omar,
speaking of Leonardo, Omar.
Yeah.
How many of those turtles have you bought?
I pre-ordered all of them. A good friend of mine found me the rest of the first set. He's like, "You're gonna have to find Ralph," and I'm like, "I can find Ralph by himself." The thing that sucks is like I'm not gonna get the stupid spacesuit or samurai Ninja Turtles. I refuse to get those. No, but I love individual characters, so I'm in. I'm an idiot, and I got the Thundercats too, because like I knew I would. I'm so stupid. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't have the money. I don't have time. What am I gonna do with these toys?
I love how we keep buying all this crap and we just beat ourselves up over the air. We keep doing it. It's so funny.
My brother-in-law is the one that like he's buying all those, and I was just so excited talking about them with him yesterday, and he's like, "Oh man, now you're gonna buy them?" I'm like, "Fuck no, dude! I'm just gonna play with yours. I don't have the money for that."
Shit. Dude. If I ever see you touch my $50 turtle toys, I'm gonna whoop your ass. They're not like Jess's toys back there that get knocked down every time he needs to read a book. How do you read books back there?
I don't know. Yeah, or I walk by my bookcase and my shirt snags them all and I knock them all.
Oh, the domino effect, man. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I love you all. I just came here to bust some balls for a second and talk about it. I really do like this book, by the way.
Oh my God.
I love this book. Look how, Jess, it's fairies living in the body of a dead girl, man. That's so messed up. It's dark as shit. I'm not gonna lie, it's dark.
I didn't hate it as much as User, but boy, I hated that book.
Oh man, I don't know. This one, I can't believe I found it. I know exactly where it is because I really like this book.
Do you want to tell people what's happening tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time on your channel?
No. I didn't come here at all to do that. I just came here to bust your balls, man.
I'm going to be on, so you get
Oh, okay. Well, then, yes. Then you can join me on Near Mint Condition at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jess is joining me. I invited Ryley, but I think he's too busy playing with Ninja Turtle toys. To join me, we're going to be looking at the January Marvel 2021 solicitations, the live episode. So, come and check out what the content of these books are, the prices, and get Jess to ask all the questions, the important questions.
I don't know anything. That's why he has me.
What's a Khazar? Or Khazar?
Right.
However you all want to pronounce it.
Khazar? Sure. Okay, I'll ask questions about
that one, right? I'm sure you do. Right?
Sure.
Okay. Save the questions for tomorrow. But anyway, everybody, be good. Love y'all.
Thanks, buddy.
Go read Beautiful Darkness. It's awesome.
I poured root beer on that book for everybody. Just so you know, that's why he came on here to bust my balls.
Speaking of my brother-in-law, he texted me saying, because he was on the way to visit, and he locked his keys in his car at the Circle K around the corner. So trouble is afoot at the Circle K, I guess you could say. So let me show a couple of books and then rescue him real quick.
Am I going to do the show on my own after this?
Yes, I didn't intend on leaving for another 30 minutes, but let me just shoot my shot on everything, on all my choices here.
Okay.
I've got one more non-Marvel, non-DC here, and the format is something that is very out of print at this point and hard to find, but do not worry because another publisher is reprinting this material as far as I've gathered, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is another fun series, and if you're a fan of the Buffy shows and stuff, Buffy, Angel, all that stuff, then I highly recommend getting the comics. I loved season 8. This is the first post-TV series Buffy comic. It is fun. It's hilarious. It has great characters. They sound, to me at least, like the characters did in the show, and there's a lot of awesome action against monsters, vampires, all that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend it. This, I believe, had 4 library editions, and they're reprinting it in paperbacks from Boom. The library editions are out of print and pretty dang expensive, but if you're a Buffy fan, you can at least get those paperbacks, which are really nice. I have a couple books from DC, and they are both the same character by the same creator. Batman's always been a character that has that kind of darker tinge to him, and he lends himself well to horror. And a couple of books by my favorite writer, Grant Morrison, have kind of that horror feel to them. And they are his earlier works, Gothic and Arkham Asylum. Now I have the nice oversized deluxe editions of both of these. They should still be both available, but if not these, there should be paperbacks as well. Gothic is a really great 5-issue story, one of the early arcs of the Legends of the Dark Knight series, with art by Klaus Janson. This is kind of a more of a horror story dealing with ghosts and stuff like that. I'll just, not to spoil anything, but it has beautiful artwork, and it goes back to visiting a time that you don't get to see from Batman very much. And that is, it goes back to his childhood of when he was in school, and deals with elements of while he was going to grade school and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that. And then Arkham Asylum, just the artwork by Dave McKean alone is enough to haunt me at night. But this one has kind of an exploration of all of the different members of his rogues gallery and stuff as they're in Arkham Asylum. And it's been probably a decade and a half since I've read this, so it's been quite a while. It definitely deserves a reread. But the thing that's interesting about these books, all the printings I've seen of Arkham Asylum thus far, is that they all come with the full script. So you can kind of see what Morrison was going for in his story there. And the final book I have is a big recent one from Marvel. I don't know how easy it is to obtain right now. I don't know if it's gone out of print or rather out of stock. But with Marvel stuff, if it goes out of stock, usually at this point, they've been replenishing stock pretty quickly. So not too much to worry about. But I know we talk about Immortal Hulk a lot, and that is kind of a horror-ish book. It's a fantastic series. But the other big Marvel book that has made a lot of waves is Donny Cates's Venom, and the big Absolute Carnage event from his run just came out, and this is excellent. Carnage is basically a slasher movie monster in all respects. And I think that this is, while it's not, absolutely billed as like this is a scary book, this works so well if you want to read superhero books that are also slightly horrific, slightly, scary, have a lot of violence and stuff. This is the perfect book to pick up. I love this run. I love his Venom. I think he's doing great work, doing interesting things with the character. And there's so many good artists in here, but it's such a great bloody story with a lot of cool action throughout. A lot of cool stuff happens in this book. And if you're a fan of the symbiotes at all, I highly recommend it. This has
on the screen there. There we go.
This has all of the tie-ins except for, I think, a issue that preceded this from like it was the Web of Venom stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of awesome stuff in this book. I'm really happy they decided to do a full omnibus of the event, and this is not shelved just yet, but going to look great on my shelf next to all my other spider-related things. But that's it. That's everything that I wanted to show off for you guys today. I'm going to go figure out how to rescue my brother-in-law now, as he left his keys in his car while he was trying to get some of the action figures that he found for me.
Oh yeah, he does have those action figures for me.
So anyway, I am sorry that I have to let you go, especially because I know I'm not going to be on the show for quite a while because I'm leaving for work training. But I will see y'all when I get back, if not sooner.
Well, good luck, and Circle K at least has beer for you.
Yeah.
Cigarettes. Because I know you're big into both of those things.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
Thanks,
Peace out, everybody.
Okay, I have pulled, let's see where he is. Right now I need you. I pulled a member from the audience to talk with me about scary books. And let's see, when he shows up, I will Oh, Gothic is at Hamilton's for $6. That's a good book. That is a really good book. So let me see. Okay. So I will until my new partner comes on the show. There he is. The Minister of Comics.
What's up? How long have you been by yourself for? Just now, or?
Just now, yeah.
All right, good timing.
Make Havoc. How's it going, buddy? We have a question from Ryan Blue Thunder. This is a great question. Not a horror question, but have you read any of the Walt and Skeezik's comic strip books? I have. I don't own them, but I know all about them and Gasoline Alley and stuff. They are great if you're a comic strip fan. But I actually don't own any of them. But I am an admirer of them.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, that's you need to, for Gasoline Alley and Walt and Skeezik's, you got to sort of be a historian almost.
Was that newspapers or no?
Yeah, okay. Newspapers, comic strips.
I only read newspaper comics back in the 90s and early 2000s, so anything before or after that, I'm just totally oblivious to.
Do you know Lil Abner?
No. The big thing, remember, I was like younger was obviously Peanuts, Calvin and Hobbes. Was it Doonesbury? Was that what it's called?
Doonesbury, yeah.
And then there's Family Circus was really big.
Family Circus.
I'm not a big fan of Family Circus, though. I think it's kind of boring and not funny.
Right.
What's the one with that woman who always complains about her problems? She's like a single woman who's always like, ah. Yeah, I always hated that. Ziggy was always over my head. I never got what Ziggy was about.
Oh yeah, Kathy was some famous cartoonist said Kathy looked like string dropped on the floor and Xeroxed.
I love that episode of Seinfeld where Elaine draws that cartoon for the New Yorker, but she ended up copying Ziggy, and her boss called her out for it.
Right.
When she's at the pig at the complaint department. I wish I was taller.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm the Minister of Comics. I'm always with Jess every other Saturday for Bad Days in the Batcave, and we also do Crime Corner. So that's who I am, just in case you're wondering who is this random dude who just popped up 32 minutes into the video.
Right. This is my partner in crime, and you're being addressed. I guess the MOC didn't listen to Jess about Minister of Comics didn't listen to Jess about removing the Breaking Bad poster and putting up the Batman trading card picture. I think, aren't you having that framed, or did you get it framed?
It's framed. I've just been too lazy. I'm going to put it up because I'm getting my frame in for the criminal print I got in tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a framing day for me.
Ah.
So hopefully by next Batter Days it'll be up.
Ah, okay. My next horror recommendation is Ice Cream Man, which is from Image, and it is a horror anthology. Now, it is possible, so far there are 5 of them, it is possible that this thing could get a hardcover. It is wildly popular. There's 5 trades. It's short stories. One doesn't have anything to do with another.
Is it always the same artist?
That's a good question. Oh, this is volume 5. Okay, I grabbed the wrong one.
With an anthology, you would think that it might be easier just to have different artists for each arc.
It's written by the same guy and art by the same
guy.
Wow. This is volume 5, which I grabbed by mistake because I haven't read volume 5. I've read all the other volumes except for volume 5. But yeah, there's short stories that are, and this was a popular variant right here, which I thought was funny. They're short, terrifying, spooky stories. This thing sells like crazy in floppies, and it sells like crazy in trades, I'm pretty sure. So you might be better served waiting for a hardcover. This is something I feel, I'm not real good at predicting stuff, but I do feel this is going to get a hardcover. Very well done. All 5 trades are excellent, scary, creepy, and well worth your time and money.
Is every issue a standalone story, or is each book a standalone story?
Each up until volume 4. Now I haven't read volume 5 yet. I grabbed the wrong one. Every story was different.
Okay.
But in this one, four more strange and sad stories of the horror adjacent anthology series. See here a tetrad of atypical tales. A separating superhero satire, a lamentation of lost memory, a field guide for being a ghost, a rotten retelling of your favorite children's stories. See here some other confections too. See here, see here. So they're single stories.
Interesting. That's a very interesting summary of the book on the back.
Yeah, lots of alliteration.
So it's kind of like a short story collection, but in comic books.
Right, exactly.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So I jumped into the show whenever Omar was talking about Beautiful Darkness. So I'm not sure what was talked about before then. I did like his quote. I put it in the chat earlier. It epitomizes every collector everywhere. I'm so stupid. What's wrong with me? There's no time. There's no money. We should have that emblazoned in our collection for all of us.
I'm with him all the way on that one.
Which part of that resonates with you the most?
What part of that quote?
Yeah. I'm so stupid. What's wrong with me? There's no time. There's no money. Which one of those? I think all of them perfectly encapsulate me at this point.
Yeah, I agree with all of them, but probably the biggest one is there's no time.
Yeah.
Because I've got so much to read.
That's true.
And Joe Chip makes an excellent point here. Just bought the Ice Cream Man trade paperback, so there's a good chance they make it a hardcover. It's almost guaranteed.
Jess constantly throws himself on the grenade of trade paperbacks to get us an omnibus or a hardcover. So we always appreciate your sacrifice, Jess.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm not sure if you guys have talked about the books I'm going to lay out, but I'll go to my first choice, and that is Witches by Scott Snyder.
Oh, good. No, we haven't talked about it.
And if you've watched Jess and I's shows at all, you know that one of my favorite artists in the world is Jock. He's one of my top 5 favorite artists. I would love to have some original art by him, but as Jess told me the other day, it's uber expensive. I think you were looking at some, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
And so this is a great book. Unfortunately, they haven't really gone back to it. They did a one-shot special last year, randomly, I think last Halloween or last October, and they keep promising that they're going to come back to it, but they haven't yet, which is unfortunate because they definitely set up a bigger world beyond what the first trade explores, and I really want to see where it goes. So essentially, this girl and her family moved to this new town because she had some big issues. I don't want to spoil what happened, but she starts being haunted by these really creepy witches. And they aren't like, a cauldron-stirring witch who puts curses on you. They're like monster-like, and they have these long claws, and they like eat you to death, and they stick you in a tree. This book is super creepy.
Yeah.
This is one of the most creepy books I've ever read in my entire life. And I really like the art style and the coloring. The coloring kind of has like this magical like sparkling to it, which is really interesting. So I really like the pairing of the pencils and the inks with the colors. It really sets a moody atmosphere. I think you've read this before, haven't you, Jess?
Several times, yeah.
And I got the DCBS variant, which I like the cover because that's what the witches look like. They're super weird and super creepy.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
I think Scott Snyder excels the most in horror. That's where American Vampire, Witches, and the book I'm also going to talk about in a few minutes. I think that's like his soft spot. I think he's really good in that genre, which is really true in his Batman run with things like Endgame and Death of the Family. That's like his version of the Joker is the most terrifying in his history. He's like a Jason Voorhees or something like that, or Michael Myers. He's like a horrific figure.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So my next choice would be Infidel. This is about a Muslim family that moves into a racist building. The apartment is haunted by some spirit, but I mean the whole building is. It says a horror tale for the 21st century. Infidel follows an American Muslim woman and her multiracial neighbors who move into a building haunted by entities fueled by xenophobia. And it's one of Lou's favorite books. Lou might be one of the ones that got me to read it, but first of all, the art is fantastic. The concept is fantastic to me too, of a building being haunted and what these people have to go through living in a building that is racist and hates them because they are a different color and religion. And it is it's pretty, I think it's pretty terrifying. I thought it was. I've never read anything like it before. It was very horrifying, and it was really well put together, and it sounds kind of weird to say it's realistically put together when you're talking about a haunted apartment building, but it made sense to me, like a haunted house. But this was the apartment building, and each neighbor got affected differently. And I highly recommend Infidel. The art you just saw was great.
That's a big trade too.
Sorry?
That's a really thick trade.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. This is by Image, and his name is Pernsak Pishetshote.
Wait, say the first name again.
Pernsak. I think he's from Thailand, I think.
Oh, okay.
And Aaron Campbell is, I believe, the artist. But yeah.
Oh, Aaron Campbell, doesn't he do the Hellblazer run with Cy Spurrier?
Oh, does he? I haven't got that.
I think he does. I think he does. If everyone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Aaron Campbell does the main art for the Hellblazer.
Really good in this.
That looks really good.
Yeah. So that is my my suggestion. It's very sort of timely, and I don't know, anything with racism right now is completely believable to me, and so that just ratcheted up the horror, that it gets so bad that a whole building could be against somebody.
Well, Marcelo, it looks like you have to buy these books together because it says that Amazon is recommending he buy Witches and Infidel together. So it sounds like you should.
I agree.
Apparently Amazon knows what's best for you.
Yeah.
At least in this case. So my next choice is another Scott Snyder book. I think it's one of his most underrated books. It's one of his first books he ever did, and that's Severed.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great book. And it's super creepy. I'll read the back. 1916, a man haunts the roads, a man with razor-sharp teeth and a hunger for flesh. When 12-year-old Jack Guerin runs away from home to find his father, a wayward minstrel who he hasn't seen since birth, he'll discover how quickly the American dream can become a nightmare. So basically, this whole story is about this young boy who I just mentioned. He's jumping on trains. He's trying to find his father. And all along, there's this really creepy guy with teeth who wants to pretty much eat him and suck his blood, kind of like a vampire of sorts. And again, I don't know who the artist in this book is. Never heard of him before. Attila Futaki, never heard of them before, but there are some truly horrific moments in this. And it's all involving kids, so if you're someone who doesn't like to see kids in jeopardy, this won't be a book for you, just to give you that warning. But for those of you who are okay with that or able to stomach that, this is a book that you'll greatly enjoy. It's very much a slow burn. I wouldn't say it's as fast-paced and as exciting as American Vampire or even Witches, but it's definitely a really atmospheric and spooky book that I think all Scott Snyder fans will enjoy. So this is one of my personal favorite horror books. And I don't think people talk about it enough. I think you have the nice hardcover as well.
I do. Speaking of Cy Spurrier, I was going to recommend Weavers.
Ooh, we talked about this on Crime Corner a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Cy Spurrier book I've read so far.
Is that right?
I thought it was so unique, so enjoyable. The premise, you'll read the premise soon. It's one of the most unique premises I've read in a long time.
In the aftermath of a gang-related attack, Sid Time becomes an unlikely new addition to the Weavers, a brutal East Coast crime family. This is where it gets amazing. Members of the syndicate are bound to loyalty thanks to the supernatural spiders inside each of them, granting them powerful and grotesque abilities.
Jess loves white spiders, just so you know. That's his favorite kind of spider.
Oh, and they show them too. And there's white spiders that these people swallow, these giant white spiders, and it grants them supernatural powers. And in this gang war,
everyone has different powers. Like everyone gets different powers from each individual spider. That's the really cool part.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that statistic? How many spiders we all eat in a year while we're sleeping or something?
Oh, come on. Don't make my life worse.
Hopefully you're not eating white spiders in the middle of the night, Jess, while you're snoring away. How many white spiders has Jess eaten in his life? But you haven't gotten any powers yet.
I haven't. And these are big ass spiders too.
Except for a supernatural ability to push people away, not be around people. That's your power. to push, no, get away from me, get away from me. As you posted earlier on your Instagram page.
Right. I got that as a gift today from a good friend of mine who gave me that.
Your friend really knows you well then.
She does.
What was that one thing I sent you I sent you a meme and you put on your Instagram page? I wish I had a leaf blower, but for people.
Ryley was telling everybody about how excited they were, he and Megan, to they were going to dress up as Mortal Kombat contestants so they could wear a mask over their face, and they were going to go zip line with candy going out and everything. And I said in the OmniBros chat that I was going to turn off all the lights and just go downstairs and hide in the basement.
Just put a bowl out there. But the thing about a bowl is that the first 2 kids will just take all of it.
Well, and we don't even get it. We've lived here 30 years. We never get any kids because whenever you visit, you'll see that our street is sort of way off the beaten path and nobody thinks to come down it. So there's never any trick-or-treaters.
Did you buy that purposefully to be away from people?
So it worked out perfect. I go over to a friend's house and my wife and the other mom take those kids out while Rick and I stay on the porch and smoke cigars and hand out candy.
Okay.
And he has something to drink. I don't, but I end up eating like most of the candy bowl.
This year with my son, for those of you who don't know, I have a son who's going to be actually a year old next Saturday. It's crazy. So for this Halloween, he's going to be Cookie Monster, which is his favorite Sesame Street character. And then my dog Murdoch's going to be a giant cookie. Because last year Murdoch was Charlie Brown. We got him a yellow polo and put a zigzag on it.
Yeah.
And Sam was the Great Pumpkin. So my wife loves the themed Halloween costumes for our 2 sons, we call them, even though my dog's not technically my son. He's my first son, I guess.
Yeah. They are so cute together.
Yeah, they're like best friends.
Let me take a break here to talk about a movie that scared the heck out of me. I did a show, I feel like it was about a year and a half that Jenny and I did that show. ETL's wife and I did a walk in the woods at midnight, and every Saturday we would review horror movies. And so I didn't get to be an expert, but I watched a lot of horror movies. And she had to stop doing the show because she got a new job and it was just taking up too much of her time. But the one movie, there was 2 movies that out of all the movies we saw that affected me the most. The one that scared me the most psychologically was The Blackcoat's Daughter. And then the other one I watched on my laptop desk.
Ooh, wow.
My Omnis too.
It's like we're on QVC or something.
Right.
Have the number pop up.
Yeah.
$29.99. If you call right now, you'll get an extra tea cozy.
I have my laptop on this thing in my lap. I think because it was on Amazon Prime or something, and I just didn't. I just wanted to watch it on my laptop, and I was shaking so badly from it. It was so nerve-wracking. I don't know if you could call it a horror movie as much as a thriller, but it scared the heck out of me. I was shaking for 2 hours after that. It was such a freak out, and it's called Don't Breathe. And
they get stuck in the blind guy's house.
yeah,
That is a really good movie. That's a great. Yeah, I agree. It's not really a horror movie, but I think it does have some big jump scares for sure.
yeah, it's very scary.
It really goes there at the end too. I don't want to spoil it, but man, is that a dark movie.
Yeah,
Because
very.
it's not just like it's not like demons, it's not monsters, it's real life. It's like real people. And a movie I told you guys to watch that really terrified me, not because of the jump scares, it was more like an existential dread that's kind of dripped off the movie. I don't think it affected you as much as it did me. The Invitation, with the people had the dinner party at the house.
Oh yeah,
how it unfolds. That movie is just like you keep waiting for something to happen, and they keep delaying it and delaying it. You just keep like you're on the edge of your seat. And whenever it does happen, it's nuts. And again, it's not demons, it's not monsters, it's not made up fairy tales. It's people being horrific to each other.
right.
It's so realistic. And the ending is chilling. For a horror movie to really be effective in my mind, it has to have a twist ending that really just drives in the knife even deeper.
Yeah.
And both those movies have that in spades.
Yeah. The Invitation. That we did that. We reviewed that one. Joe Chip, you're very nice. You were a good fan of that show. I miss doing it too, because Jenny provided so many good insights. She's really smart, and I really enjoyed doing it with her. But maybe things will lighten up and she can
or even do it like once a month or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Her schedule just changed, and she just got swamped. And then COVID hit, so her schedule changed even more. So
Jess, I know I keep telling you this, and other people keep telling you this. You need to watch The Haunting of Hill House.
oh yeah.
The second season, it's an anthology series, so it's a lot of the same actors, but a totally different story and characters.
Oh,
it's an anthology. Oh my gosh, the first season was unbelievably good. It had the biggest jump scare. I like legitimately screamed out loud. That's never happened to me in my entire life. I'm not someone who's normally that frazzled. I screamed, and that never happens to me.
wow.
And it's not really a big jump scare show either. It's more, again, I like a more atmospheric movie or TV show that really creeps me out and gets under my skin more than just jump scares. And it really does that. It's a really good story with interesting characters. I've heard the second season isn't as scary, but it has a really great emotional story with great characters, which I think you need to have for a horror movie. If you don't care about the characters, it's not effective. I don't care if Friday the 13th part 25, I don't care about these college co-eds getting slashed because they have no personality. Whenever you actually care about the characters, you're drawn into the story with them. And that's what really makes a good horror movie. I really need to watch The Invisible Man. I've been putting that off. And it's actually on HBO Max.
Okay.
Maybe I'll give that I can't watch that this late. For those of you who don't know, I have night terrors really bad.
I can't believe you just told the audience
that. I don't care. I get night terrors sometimes, and if I watch a scary movie or scary TV show before bed, it like triggers it. So I'll spare my wife and not watch that before bedtime. I have to watch it I have to watch a movie or a horror TV show and then like read something that's really upbeat or watch a sitcom or something to kind of alleviate that.
Yeah. Here's Streakazoid is saying Hill House was genuinely the best horror I've seen in years. Okay, I gotta see it.
That should be towards the top. I know most of the top parts of Jess's TV and movie list are my recommendations, so I don't want to put too much on you. Because I know you work through Batman animated series. That's the most important.
Right.
But since it's October, might be a good time to jump into that show. Hill House.
Okay. How long is each episode?
Like 15 minutes, I think. But it's not like a long season. I think it's only 8 to 10 episodes.
Okay.
Which I think is the best length for a drama.
I agree.
It's not like you're gonna watch The Flash and watch 27 million episodes. I feel like you're drowning. A lot of people miss Walk in the Woods at Midnight.
Oh, Dr. Wolf tickets.
Wow.
Thank you.
The guy above him has the most interesting name I've ever seen. And that's saying something.
Dr. Wolf tickets. Paging Dr. Wolf tickets.
Joe Chip is recommending Don't Look Now. I've never seen that. Very underrated horror movie.
Very underrated horror movie. Okay.
Hereditary definitely creeped me out really bad.
What's
Did
that?
you watch Hereditary? That movie really creeped me out.
That was one of Jenny's favorites. That may have been her favorite. I don't know. I didn't quite. The ending I thought was really odd.
Oh, I didn't really like it that much, but it was genuinely disturbing though.
Oh yeah, it was way disturbing.
The ending's kind of out of left field a little bit. There are some breadcrumbs that lead to it, but man, that ending is real. They really just go for it. That's for sure. So I don't want to ruin it. But that's not really a movie I'll ever watch again, but it definitely creeped me out.
Yeah.
Should I go to my next horror comic choice?
Yes.
All right, so this is somewhat of a recent story, and I hope the next hardcover comes out in the foreseeable future, and that's Baby Teeth by Donny Cates. And this is an Aftershock. They're coming out with these really nice hardcovers. Essentially, it's Rosemary's Baby if the mother of the Antichrist actually wanted to keep him, essentially. And it is a loving mother who's like, you know what? I don't care about his destiny. I don't care what this prophecy says. I'm going to be the best mom that I can be, and I'm going to try to keep him from going down this really dark path. And she has her father and her sister coming alongside her, trying to help her in this journey of getting her son away from all these different cults and groups. They're trying to either take the baby for themselves or kill him. And so there's a bunch of secret organizations coming together, fighting against each other for this child, because they either want to use them for their own purposes, they want to put him to death to avoid the end of the earth. And this mother's just like, no matter what, he's my son. I'm not going to get rid of him. I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to be the best mom that I can be, because his destiny is going to be shaped by me. It's more of like a nature versus nurture discussion. Are we destined to be this way because of our nature, or are we shaped by the people that we're around and the upbringing that we have? So this is a really interesting book. I think everyone would greatly enjoy it. I mean, Donny Cates is like a red hot writer right now, and I've only read one book by him that I didn't enjoy, and that was one of his earlier books. So all of his newer stuff is great.
And there's another example of Jess buying all the trades and a hardcover coming out. So you're welcome for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. The next one for me, I am a huge Gail Simone fan. I love Gail Simone. I've never met her or got a chance to get her autograph on anything. But if I did, Clean Room would be what I would take to get her signature on, because I think this is the best thing she's ever written. It is, first of all, the art in the first two trades is amazing.
Who's the artist in the first two trades?
John Davis Hunt, who did...
Ooh, he did Wildstorm, which is my favorite Ellis book.
Yeah.
I just reread that last week. Man, that is such a great series. I know that's not a horror series, guys, but if you haven't read the new Wildstorm by Warren Ellis, it's a fantastic series. And I know we're all in different places about how we feel about certain creators who have some of these things going around. So I totally get if you don't want to buy it, but if you're willing to buy it or read it on Hoopla, it's a fantastic series.
This is, I'm just going to have to read the back because otherwise it's too hard for me to describe. But, and you'll see some of the art too, how good it is. Somewhere between the realms of self-help and religion lies the Honest World Foundation. Its creator started out as an obscure writer of disposable horror fiction who decided to change the world one mind at a time. Now its adherents rule Hollywood while obeying their leaders' every command. That's almost all anyone knows about the movement, or is it a cult founded by reclusive guru Astrid Mueller? But reporter Chloe Pierce is sure that there's something deeper hiding behind Honest World's facade. Her fiance was a devoted follower of Mueller right up to the moment when he blew his brains out while holding a copy of her book. Now Chloe wants answers from the woman whose world commands the loyalty of millions, and she's ready to storm the top secret sanctuary known as the Clean Room to get them. This is more than just a take on Scientology or something. This is an amazing, really creepy, scary kind of world within another world there's one world set up, and then it dives into this other world where evil creatures are, and is the head of this sort of cult or religion or self-help group, is she good? Is she bad? Is she being manipulated? Is she doing the manipulating? I think it's remarkable on several different levels. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and it is definitely a great book for October because it's freaky. So
I was really surprised you didn't pick that as one of your top 5 for our Vertigo show last week.
Because I totally forgot it was Vertigo.
Okay, because I know that's one of your favorite books.
Yeah, I just forgot it was Vertigo.
The art looks fantastic. I think John Davis Hunt is one of the best storytellers in comics. Like, there's a lot of pages in Wildstorm where there's no dialogue for like 10 pages, and you know exactly what's happening. That's really difficult. I mean, drawing beautiful pictures is one thing, but telling sequential storylines is a very complicated skill, and he excels at that. He's fantastic.
Here's Marcelo stabbing me in the back. Jess, how are you enjoying that signed Gail Ramon Red Sonja omnibus? The one I ordered a year ago and still haven't gotten, Marcelo?
Are you gonna have like a virtual party whenever you finally get that book? Go on Animal Crossing and have like everybody come in and hang out with you. Celebrate finally. Have your daughter create like a virtual Red Sonja book.
I totally will. It's a great idea. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to write IST again because it's Emily that's handling it for me now because I don't even know where things stand with.
What was the reason why it's been delayed for so long?
They forgot to have Gail Simone sign the books and shipped them out.
They forgot.
They got to get all these books back. Oh, and I think like there was a huge pallet of books that got damaged. So they had to redo the books. Then they had to get them to Gail Simone. She had to sign them. And now I don't know where they are.
It's funny how people who watch these shows know our lives better than we do. They always remember exactly what's going on, and they always bring up stuff. And you're like, how do you even remember that?
Yeah. Stephen Lee says some of those signed Red Sonjas turn up unsigned. Actually, at this point, I kind of just want the book to read it, and I'll get her to sign it at a convention next year or something. I just want the book because I love Red Sonja and I love Gail Simone's writing. So what a mess. It's a dynamite book. I don't know what's going on there.
That's really, yeah. I mean, people are complaining right now about like a couple of weeks or a month. You've been dealing with that for a year, so I think you win.
Yeah, I should bring that up.
So my last choice, I don't know if you guys have talked about this already earlier on. It's actually the background that we have right now, and that's Harrow County.
Oh, yeah, we haven't talked about it. That's great.
This is my favorite horror series of all time. I love this book. And Jess and I actually interviewed the author, Cullen Bunn, several months ago on his channel, Omnidog's Vault. So if you haven't watched that, give it a shot. Tyler Crook's unbelievable art is fantastic. He not only draws it, he not only inks it, he also watercolors everything. And this book is one of the most beautiful books in my collection. That's for sure. This is a fantastic story about a girl who grows up on a farm in Harrow County. She's a seemingly normal girl, but everyone in the community keeps an eye on her because they know there's an evil lurking inside of her. And again, this is similar to Baby Teeth. That is it your nature that dictates who you become, or is it who you surround yourself with and the people that you allow into your life? Is she going to succumb to evil because it's what her destiny is, or is she going to choose the path of good and truly be the hero that Harrow County needs? And so she should take care of the ghosts, the haints, and other monsters in the woods, and take care of ones that step out of line. This is a fantastic series. I don't know what the status of these library editions are. Jess, do you know if they're out of print or not?
I feel like number 2 might be, but let me look here on Amazon.
That's a series you definitely need to pick. That was volume 4, and there are 4 library editions, and they're well worth your time, and they're well worth your money. I mean, this book is only, what's the price? It's only $40. If you get an IST or cheap graphic novel, it's probably going to be like $20-some. This is a great bargain for how beautiful these books really are.
Yeah, 2 and 3, I don't know how badly they're out of print, but they are out of print.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's Omnibus Volume 1 of Harrow County.
Oh, they're making an
I don't-
omnibus.
Harrow County Omnibus. It's a paperback though.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like the BPRD Plague of Frogs book, I guess. Like they have those paperback omnis in addition to
Oh,
the
and it's not coming
hardcover.
out till January. Yeah. It's
So
not coming out till
definitely
January.
pick it up in some format. If you can't get it easily in library edition, they have the trades, which I think Jess has. I don't think you have the library editions, do you?
I do
you
have
do.
the library editions.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did upgrade, but that was one of the
I
things you
upgraded.
sacrificed for. You got the trades, and then we got library editions, and so you upgraded. But definitely get in either format. You can get it in library edition if you can find them for cheap. You can get them in trade, and like Jess said, there's also the Omni coming out. And as Doc Collector pointed out, if you have Hoopla, all the trades are on Hoopla. For those of you who have that library service, that's definitely my number one pick by far.
And before I go to my last pick, I will say, everybody go to our sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. At the end of every month, they are nice enough to give us a $50 gift card to give away to one lucky viewer. It could be you. And you can spend it there. If you spend it, well, of course you can spend it there. It's open to international shoppers as well. So anybody around the world can play that game of win the IST gift card. And if you order $50 or more worth of books, you get free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
And Eric W has a good question that ties into IST. Yes, it's not really the third Black Hammer library edition because Volume 2 is the last of the actual Black Hammer storyline, but it is the world of Black Hammer, different stories set within that universe. And that did come out in IST, but it did go out of stock like within 10 minutes. Jess and I got right in under the wire.
We hope.
Yeah, so I hope that it'll be. I mean, it's not really going to be. I don't really know if I have it unless it's picked and scanned. But
Yeah.
you can probably find it on Amazon, maybe on other sites too. But IST, I'm sure it'll get it back eventually. I don't think it's out of print; it's just out of stock currently.
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't know. I feel like it'll come back.
Dark Horse is really strange that sometimes they try to keep some things in print, but sometimes it takes them a while to get things back into print. But I don't think it's out of print. I think it's just out of stock for right now on IST.
Yeah, Eric, the minister is right. It was 10 minutes and it was out of stock already.
And I got mine in at 308, so I was like right at the cutoff.
And I got mine at like 305.
But I'm rereading Black Hammer right now because I just got the second library edition in because I haven't read that stuff yet. So I'm really excited to finally finish that series out because that's one of my favorite Lemire series, which is saying a lot because I love almost everything he's done.
Yeah, and I need to find a buyer for all the trades, of course, that I bought to provide you with the library edition. So I need to find somebody to buy those.
That's a series you have to upgrade on. You have to.
I agree.
It's just you have to.
And I have a feeling that we're going to get something giant for Gideon Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Brought in to talk about Gideon Falls is a terrific book that is extremely, it's by Jeff Lemire. It is extremely disturbing, very detailed, a horrifying world building experience. Gideon Falls is awesome. There are 4 books right now, and I just got the 4th and I haven't read it, so I don't know if they I don't know if it finished or not. But I have
it's finishing this December with issue 27.
Okay.
I think it was probably supposed to finish earlier, but the pandemic probably pushed it back a little bit. I'm not sure about that. I'm just assuming, but I do know it's going to wrap up. There has to be a hardcover. He always gets a hardcover at Image, so he's definitely going to get something. That's why I've been holding out. I rarely buy Image trades anymore unless I know it's not a big series that will get a hardcover. But if they're really popular writers like Lemire or other writers like Rick Remender or things like that, like they're going to get a hardcover, so you might as well wait.
I totally agree with that. And Eric W., that is the question everybody in the comic collector world is asking.
Because it's DC. That's the only answer we can give you. DC, just makes really weird decisions.
It makes no sense. Originally, it was going to be an omnibus, and then now it's standard. I cannot explain or even fathom why such a major run like that by John Byrne, which a lot of people feel like is the quintessential Superman run. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying a lot of people feel that way, that they really strongly love it. Why they would just reissue it in a regular old standard hardcover is something
very strange. And Marcelo Ramos has a good point. This is something that actually struck too close to home earlier on the pandemic. We were supposed to review Deceased back, I think, March or April for Better Days in the Batcave, and you started reading it, and you're like, nah, not going to do that right now. A little bit too close to home.
Yeah, I was pretty freaked out back in March and April about everything, really. COVID and the stock market, and my wife came home thinking she had COVID and ended up retiring, and it was and we just I read like the first 3 pages of Deceased, and I said, forget it.
I think the plan at this point now is we'll wait for some of the other Deceased books to come out because they're doing more, and maybe we'll stick a whole episode at some point when it's not as close to home.
Yeah, that's fine with me because I love Tom Taylor, and those are supposed to be really good books.
Yeah, so we'll do it eventually. We'll just wait till some of the other hardcovers come out because I think the most recent one came out, Unkillables.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some more. I think there's one right now called Dead Planet or something. So there's going to be more. So we'll probably do a whole episode about that on Better Days in the Batcave at some point in 2021.
Unkillables. It's kind of skinny. When the world ends, the villains shall inherit it. Oh, the anti-life virus has ravaged the earth. Oh, brother.
Well, maybe sometime in 2021 it'll be easier to read that.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Once I get my vaccination. But
by the time all the hardcovers come out, I'm sure we'll be in a better spot.
Yeah. My last pick is going to surprise people. If you watch Omnidog and Omnicat, that's my show with Kristen Robertson, also known as the Comic Slayer. She has actually, I don't know if her channel's up yet or not. But Kristen sometimes tries to get me to read manga. A lot of you know that I can't read it because my brain can't follow it reading backwards.
But Jess loves your manga recommendations.
Get the hell out.
I just ruined the rest of this month for you.
But I did read with her, I think maybe last year, Junji Ito is the only manga writer whose stuff I can follow.
Is that Uzumaki?
Sorry?
Is that Uzumaki?
Yeah, he wrote
okay.
And Shiver and Gyo. Those are things that I've read. For some reason, I can follow those, whereas with Berserk, I couldn't follow it. It didn't make any sense to me. But I read and still have Dissolving Classroom.
Oh, man, that looks rough.
This is a pair of twisted siblings. Yuma, a young man obsessed with the devil, and Chizumi, the worst little sister in recorded history, cause all sorts of tragic and terrifying things to happen wherever they go. These are a bunch of short stories, and the first thing the brother does is he always says he's sorry. He's so sorry, he's so sorry, he's so sorry. And the little sister is like evil incarnate. She's just awful. And there's a bunch of stories that involve how, of course, they get other people into their orbit and what happens to those other people. There is a story towards the back of this book, and the only reason I'm recommending it is because it almost made me throw up. It was so vile and so disgusting. I almost chucked, and which I think is a perfectly good reason to recommend a horror book. It almost.
Do you know what movie made me feel like that when I was growing up? Did you ever see the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum?
Oh yeah.
Oh, when he starts transforming into the fly, and he throws up on his food, and he throws up at that one guy's hand. It burns like acid. That movie is so disgusting because I hate bugs.
Brindlefly.
Oh my gosh, that movie is still freaky.
It is. He arm wrestles the guy and snaps the guy's arm.
Oh my gosh, even if you don't want to watch the whole movie, just look up The Fly gross moments or something, because you'll find it. It looks like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's absolutely disgusting.
This is what Junji Ito is famous for, and it's extremely disturbing, extremely disgusting, and completely terrifying. And that's the only I might read another Ito book, but other manga I just can't understand. So it's probably gonna have to, if I ever read another manga, it's gonna have to be an Ito book, because that's the only thing I can follow.
An old Omnidog can't learn new tricks.
That's right.
Look at it that way.
My brain is just not elastic enough. I think that's what it is.
Maybe if you had read it back in the 90s, you'd be in a better spot to read it.
It's possible.
I definitely feel the same exact way. It's hard for me to kind of get used to it.
Omnidog, do you take flu vaccines? Yes. If you do get them, do you ever get sick after taking them, or do you avoid the flu for that year? That's an interesting question. Thank you for asking. For probably the past 20 years, I've gotten a flu shot. 2 years, I got the nasal swab.
They do that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a nasal swab, so you don't get a shot. This was a long time ago, because I used to be afraid of needles, and now I'm like, you want to draw my blood? Fine, take a pint. I don't even care anymore, because I've been so sick so many times.
Was this back when polio was an issue?
No. Although I did take the polio vaccine as a kid. I remember that. Jerk.
Your look of condescension and anger was worth it. Sorry, keep going.
No, and I got the swab flu vaccine. Both years that I got the swab flu vaccine, I got the flu. So I never get the swab anymore. I always get the shot, and so far I have not gotten the flu with the flu shot. But I will not get the swab that's supposedly made with dead virus cells or whatever it is, a dead virus, and it was not pleasant. So I was, that's an interesting question, but there you go. Oh, here's Streakazoid backs me up. I'm glad I'm not the only one that struggles to read backwards. You're definitely not alone, Jess. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
I think it's also just easier for both of us, because comics are already all consuming in some ways with how many books we have, and adding another genre, well, not even it's a genre, it's almost like a medium unto itself. It's just a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I agree.
Everyone, if you haven't seen Ryley's collection tours of his library on his channel, check it out, because he has one just for comics and another video for manga. And I think he almost has more manga than comics. It's just it's massive, because they're so small and they're so like digest size. You can kind of fit more and stack them on top of each other. I think that would just be all consuming to dive into both of them.
He reads the most I've ever seen anybody read, and I think he reads even more than Peter M., which is saying something, because Peter M. is a reading machine, and I think Ryley reads a little bit more than he does.
Yeah, Omar also is a big reader too.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you to the chat. Thank you, Minister of Comics, for stepping in and helping out. I appreciate it.
Of course. Hopefully, Ryley is his brother-in-law are fine at Circle K. Hopefully, they're back safe and sound at his house.
How is it possible to lock your keys in the car now? Aren't there? Well, whatever. He locked his keys in his car.
If you have an older car, it can still happen.
Yeah. Thank you to the chat. You guys were great tonight. I appreciate everybody's comments and questions. Thank you to InStockTrades.com. God bless you. And
we have a show tomorrow night.
Friday. I'll give a plug for my next show. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you'll see the two of us on Crime Corner, where we will be reviewing Black Sad, The Losers, And
Death
Wait,
or Glory Volume 2.
oh, I told you not to tell me.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Death and Glory Volume 2, 1 and 2. Yeah. So there you go. And peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
See you guys.